Good evening, everybody. I hope that everyone is doing okay. Welcome to my first stream of 2024. In honesty, my first stream in maybe 2 years or so. All right, guys, I'm not going to waste your time. Today, we're going to be speaking about the Bitcoin cycles, okay? Bitcoin cycles. In 10, when I'm speaking about Bitcoin cycles, I'm kind of leaning on towards cryptocurrency cycles as a whole, because we all know that Bitcoin is a mother of all coins. So, shout out if you are joining me live this evening. Share the live stream so that more people can get to see this and hear this. It is not every day that I share content that I share with my students. So today it's a very, very special day for everybody here on the um, social media space, because I'm sharing some good quality today. Okay. So quickly share that with everybody while I refresh all my pages so that we are um, on the latest pages. All right. All right, you'll see that on the screen that I have here, we have the Bitcoin halving countdown. Now, some of you who have been in crypto for a long time, you know what that means, and you know what that is, right? So some of you that haven't been in the cryptocurrency for a while, you might be asking yourself, why do I have and why do I care about the Bitcoin halving? Some of you might be asking, what is the Bitcoin halving? Okay. So I'm just going to jump quickly into it and why is it so important when it comes to Bitcoin cycles or crypto market cycles. All right. So we are 65 days away from the biggest event you will get in cryptocurrency, which is the halving. What is the halving? A halving is an event where the blocks that are released, Bitcoins that are released every 10 minutes are halved every 4 years. Every 10 minutes, there's a block of Bitcoins that is released into the market. In the beginning, there was 50 Bitcoins that were released into the chain every 10 minutes, right? So in the olden days, it was easy for you to mine Bitcoins. You could do it with your CPU at home in your computer. And if your computer, just with the software, you would install a software and start mining Bitcoins. If your computer was successful, you would be rewarded with 50 Bitcoins. This is back in 2010, 2008, 2010, okay? 2009, 2010, around those times. So it was pretty much easy. So every 10 minutes, everybody would have, how do I call it? Everybody would have a chance to be able to win 50 Bitcoins or mine, rather, that's the correct way to mine 50 Bitcoins. All right. So that's what halving is. So every 4 years, the first halving happened, and then that was halved into 25 Bitcoins. Then the other halving happened, it was also halved up until to where we are now. So we are almost at our fourth halving event that is happening. Why do we care about the Bitcoin halving? We care about the Bitcoin halving because, number one, it promotes scarcity in the Bitcoin. Then the number of Bitcoins that are hitting the market from the miners are reduced in half. Number two, it also promotes demand. Why does it promote demand? Because the mining difficulty goes up. So if you were able to mine Bitcoins, so the mining difficulty will go up. When the mining difficulty goes up, miners are reluctant to sell their Bitcoins. Hence, it promotes that demand. If there's Bitcoins that are out there and miners are not willing to sell those ones, it promotes scarcity and it promotes demand. With demand, the price starts to shoot up. Okay. So this is what it is, Bitcoin halving. Now I'm going to go into my chart. The purpose of my webinar today is to show you a chart that I have drawn up on a long time basis for cryptocurrency and for Bitcoin. All right. So I did a chart, I did a chart and I drew it up based on my experience and based on some other how can I call them? Not traders, but investors that they've done in the past or in the previous cycle. Okay, then I was able to do that chart. So I'm going to show you the chart, and I'll show you why do I think Bitcoin is going to even go higher, and predict when it will start going and pushing us into the bull market. All right. So my chart, it is on TradingView. I did, hold on, let me connect to this chart. My chart is on TradingView. You can see it was published by myself on January the 29th of January. I published this chart. Okay, so why is my chart important? I'm trying to show you guys the long-term chart of cryptocurrency. Okay, I'm going to go through everything on this particular chart. If you are new and you don't understand what I'm saying, don't worry. I'm going to try to be as slow as I can and to be as precise as I can in explaining everything that is happening right now. Okay, we got a few people on the live stream. Remember to like, share, so that the stream can go out to as many people as possible. All right. So on my chart here, I'm going to start with the horizontal yellow lines, vertical yellow lines, pardon me. I'm going to start with the vertical yellow lines that you are seeing here on the screen. These lines, they signify every time we went through a halving period. Okay. So I went on and studied all the halving dates, and I plotted them here on the chart. You will see at the bottom here, it says Monday, the 26th of November 2012. It was not, the halving date was not specifically on that day, but it was the week of that halving period. Why? Because my chart is on a weekly time frame. Okay. Weekly time frame, it means that every candle that you're looking at on the screen, it took a week to form. Every single candle here took a week to form. So if you look at all these candles that are displayed on this chart, these took years and years and years and years to over these period of time. It has been years, dating back all the way to 2011. That's where I have started my chart. Okay, so the first halving happened on the Monday, the 26th, the week of the Monday, the 26th, 2012. Okay, that's when we saw Bitcoin being halved from 50 Bitcoins that are released into the blockchain every 10 minutes to 25 Bitcoins that are released into the blockchain every 10 minutes. The following day or the following time was 4 years later. There's a pattern here that we're going to be speaking about, that particular pattern of the cycle repeat 4 years. Okay, the next cycle or the next halving happened on the week of the 4th of July 2016. That's when we had our second halving. Okay, then the next halving happened on the week of the 11th of May 2020. This is the halving that we just had from the previous cycle. The next halving, it's happening. Let me go back to my halving chart. The next halving is happening on the day, which is the 28th of April 2024, plus minus. Why do I say plus minus? It all depends on the blocks, how quick the blocks are being mined and how quick the blocks are being released into the blockchain. So you'll find that the time that is given here, which is 2:15 UTC time, it might differ by a few minutes or an hour or so. Okay, so as it stands, the next halving is happening on the 28th of April. Okay, let's go back to our chart. It is the yellow line right here. It is the yellow line right here. That's where it's going to be happening. All right. So now let me explain all the boxes that I have here. Okay, let me explain all the boxes that I have on this chart. And for me to do that, because I'm going to need to zoom in and zoom out of the chart, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to go back to my actual chart that I drew. Okay, let me go back to the actual chart that I drew. Let me remove my face so that we can have the chart in its entirety. And let's just open it up so that you guys can see it. Let's zoom it a little bit. Zoom it a little bit. Okay. So my chart started with a bull market. I'm going to explain all these boxes that I have here. Okay. The greenish box, which tends to be larger than the other boxes vertically. Okay. It doesn't necessarily have to be horizontally, but vertically, it tends to be larger than the other charts. Okay. So here we go. So the first block was our bull market when Bitcoin started off. Okay, it started off. It was costing nothing. It was costing just a few seconds. A few cents. It was just costing a few cents in terms of pricing. And just like any other new coin that is released, you will see that any new coin that is released, it tends to give you a lot of returns because it has a lot of ground to cover. It still needs to build up that market capitalization. So it tends to move rapidly on the upside, and it does so also on the downside. Okay, as you can see with Bitcoin, based on this chart that I am now, Bitcoin was able to move hundreds and thousands of X's within that first year, 282,835%. Not the first year, but during that bull market, excuse me. During that bull market, it moved 282%, 835. All right. So 200K% within a certain bull market, you will never get that again from Bitcoin. Why? Because now the price of Bitcoin is so high, and the price of Bitcoin is now a bit stable, if I can call it that way. So Bitcoin in cryptocurrency, it still tanks 30% at a time, or 15% at a time, or 20% at a time. It will drop, but it is the most stable coin that you will have in the crypto market, because other coins, they can drop 40, 50, 60, 70, 80% at a time, not even in the bear market. Okay, just at a time, if something would to happen. Okay, so the first block was our strong bull run. Okay, it began somewhere in July 2010, and it lasted somewhere in June the following year. So because Bitcoin was still new, there were still ups and downs, but if you look at it, the main chart is on the upside. Okay, let me zoom it again. So the main chart is on the upside. Okay, then followed the bear market. Okay, so let's go to the height of the price at the end of the bull market was $31. Okay, the price was $31. Then entered the bear market. Usually the bear market lasts for a year after the bull market, but because the price was still finding itself, you will find that in the very beginning, that varies until the price, or until the coin had structure. Then in the last three halvings, we can now see a very familiar pattern, which I will speak about as we progress in the video. Okay, so the bear market began somewhere in the week of the 13th of June 2011, and it ended somewhere on the 14th of November 2011. Hold on, let me check something. Let me check something quickly. Yeah, it was June 2011, and we went all the way. The last Bitcoin market was, hold on, yeah, June 2011, that week of the June 2011, and we went all the way down to November. So this wasn't a very long bear market, just like I say. Okay, but look at the drop from the high to the low was 93%. Okay, 93%. And ever since, Bitcoin hasn't dropped 93% coming out of the bull market. During its bear market, it hasn't dropped 93%. Why? Because the technology was new, the coin was new, volatility was high. So that's why you will see all these upwards momentum and all these terrible downwards momentums. Okay, so it was still new. So what happened next? What happened next is a next phase that I call the first expansion, okay? So the first expansion is when the market or when the price comes out of the bear market and then it extends a little bit higher to say that, hey, the bear market is over now. Now I'm extending higher. That's what that expansion is, okay? So other traders that did a chart similar to this, they had only one extension phase. I have two extension phases, and I'm going to explain why I have two extension phases, okay? So the first extension phase or expansion phase, it took us now, okay, the bear market, after the price went all the way to about $35, $30, the bear market went down to as low as $2. Imagine if you bought Bitcoin at $35 and you didn't know what you were doing and it dropped all the way down to $2, you would have said Bitcoin is finished, this thing is not real, it's a scam and whatnot and whatnot. It is amazing that people still call Bitcoin a scam or cryptocurrency a scam even in our day. Unbelievable. Okay. But anyway, so it went down to $2 or so. And then our first expansion phase took us back up to about $8. Okay. Took us back up to about $8. Then we entered what I called, hold on. Then we entered what I call the first accumulation phase. All right. That is your purple box right here. So that is your purple box right here. So this is our first accumulation. Okay, my drawing is not so good. Let me take my time. So the purple box right here. Okay, that is our first accumulation phase. So what happens in the accumulation phase is the price tends to move within a certain range. It will move up and down within a certain range for a period of time. So it's also called consolidation phase. Okay, it's also called consolidation phase. It's our first accumulation phase. This says that the first extension or the expansion, it took us to a certain level and we don't go below that level. We just go up and down within that level. Okay, then enters our second expansion phase. All right, so enters our second expansion phase. The second expansion phase tends to take us out of that first accumulation price. Okay, so the price was bouncing between $3 and $7, $8. Okay, then the second extension phase or expansion phase, then it takes us to $15. All right, almost double of the price. Okay, then what happens is the second accumulation phase comes in. Okay, so the second accumulation phase comes in. Usually when the second accumulation phase comes in, it's a sign that second accumulation phase, there it is. Usually when it comes in, it's a sign that Bitcoin halving is nearby or we are within the Bitcoin halving period. Okay. Now, this is important because this guides you to let you know that you now have limited time before you can get back into the market or get into the market before we enter a bull run phase or a strong bull run phase. Okay, then the Bitcoin halving happens. Okay, the Bitcoin halving happens, and when the Bitcoin halving happens, normally, excluding the first cycle, normally it takes 5 to 8 months before we enter the bull run. Okay, it takes 5 to 8 months before we enter the bull run. Okay, in this case, Bitcoin halving happened in November and our bull market started in December. So this was just a month because the first cycle, like I said, it didn't have pattern as yet, it didn't have structure as yet, as you will see as we progress along the other cycles. Okay, then entered the second bull market phase. The first one was this one at the initial of the token. The second one was after the first halving. Okay, the second one, let me find the price. The second one was now reduced to 128%, 128,333%. Okay, no, 12,833%. Okay, it's a huge diminishing of returns, if I can call it that way. Okay, from 6 figures to 5 figures when it comes to percentage. Okay, 12,833%. Okay, when the first one was, I hope I counted the first one properly. When the first one was definitely 200 and, yeah, when the first one was 6 figures, 278%, 278,769%. Okay, so from six figures in returns in a particular bull run to 5 figures, and that's when you will see that our bull market, we keep on having diminishing returns when it comes to Bitcoin. All right, from here on, you will see that the pattern begins to be similar throughout the other cycles. Okay, so the price now, when we came out of the second accumulation phase, let me grab that price. When we came out of the second accumulation phase, was around $13, and it went all the way to $1,990. Okay, $1,190. The price went all the way to $1,190. Now that was a big gain. All right, this is back where in 2013. Okay, then followed the bear market. Right, so the bear market dropped from the high to the lowest point. It dropped 85%. Okay, it didn't drop 93% like it did in the previous bear market. Why? Because as time goes by, remember, during this time, miners were no longer getting 50 Bitcoins. The hash rate of mining Bitcoins was even higher, and the miners were reluctant to even sell out or put out those Bitcoins into the market, right? So the price was stabilizing, okay? So it was no longer giving us those crazy high returns, and it was no longer giving us those crazy bear market of 93%. It was 85%, okay? Then how long did it last? So the bull market was from December 2013. You will now start to notice that the familiarity of the bull market. Usually the bull market ends during the last quarter of the year. Okay, every 4 years, the last quarter of the year, that's when the bull market ends. You can kind of try to time when the top will be for a certain cycle. Okay, so December 2013 was the top of the bull market. Okay, and then how long did it last? It lasted until August 2015. Okay, it lasted a lot longer. Okay, hold on. December 2013. So the whole of 2014, okay, was the bear market. The whole of 2014 was a bear market until some few months when the price was now in that low range. It had not broken above the bear market price. Then entered our first expansion phase that took us from the low point, and it gave us from the low. What was the low point after the bear market? It was $168. Remember, we are coming from $1.1. We are falling to $168. That's 85% drop. It is enough to say to somebody who does not know crypto, to say this thing is dead. I am not investing my money again. And I feel sorry for the people that invested when the price was 1.1 and they had to watch their investment diminish and diminish and diminish. Some of them did not even last the entire bear market. Some of them went out before the bear market was complete because they could not handle the huge drops. Okay. So now the extended took us from the low of $160, it took us up to $500. Okay, this is now 2015 November. I was now in the game. That's how long I've been in the game. I was now in the game. I bought my first Bitcoin at about $250. Okay, so in November 2015, I was now in the game. That's when I was coming in. And then that's when I bought my first Bitcoin. But also then I made a lot of mistakes because I did not know. I was still an amateur. I was still an amateur at that time. I did not even know the full potential of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. As a matter of fact, I was introduced to Bitcoin via Triple M, and a lot of us were during that time, because we learned that in Triple M you can create, what was the term, create dreams using Bitcoin, and there was something called Triple M Global, and you could create dreams and earn 100% in 15 days. And that's how I was introduced to Bitcoin, right? Because South African range, it was 30 days and you would earn 30%. Bitcoin Global, it was 100% in 15 days. But there were some tasks that you needed to do in between the time, okay? There were some certain things that you needed to do in between the time. So I was just happy, right? I was just happy to see all of that. And I had no idea that I had gold in my hands, right? I bought $250. At that time, it was around 3,000 rands. My first Bitcoin that I bought, it was around 3,000 rands. Okay, right. Extension phase went on. Entered the. Do you see the similarities? Similarities from the first cycle to the second cycle. Okay. Then entered the first accumulation phase. Okay, accumulation phase, the price was just moving up and down within a particular range, not going down, not going above the first expansion phase. Okay, it was just ranging around there, and this process takes months also. It was from November 2015 all the way to May the following year. Okay, so this can take years, and it is during that time that people think that Bitcoin is finished, but it is that time that you need to accumulate. We call it accumulation phase because it is that time that you need to accumulate crypto as much as possible. Okay, it is that time that you need to do. Then we started to move a little bit higher. Okay, then the Bitcoin market was saying, hey, now I've accumulated enough, now I'm ready to move. Okay, then we had our second expansion phase. Okay, we had our second expansion phase, and then the price from the top, which was 500 and something, to the expansion phase was about 800 something. Okay, was about 800 something dollars. Then entered what? The second halving, right? Look where the second halving is, and look where the second accumulation phase is. Okay, over here, look at where the first halving is, and look at where the accumulation phase is. It is right there. It's either before or on the accumulation phase that the halving happens. Okay, then came the bull market. Okay, so from the price of 500, from the price of $800, this one went all the way to $17. I went all the way to $20,000. Okay, just shy of $20,000, depending on which exchange you were trading on. And this was in 2017. This was in 2017. Now, here I was now, because Triple M collapsed early in 2016, and there wasn't anything else in the market at that particular time. Then I did a deep dive into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. I did a deep dive into crypto, and I was able to learn more than just playing with Bitcoins in network marketing companies. I still joined others along the way as I was investing, but then I fell in love with the technology because I've got an IT background. So I fell in love with the technology, and slowly I ended up not doing any MLM companies or any companies that were promoting, or you could buy packages using cryptocurrency or Bitcoin at that time, because Bitcoin was the famous one. So I slowly came out of it, because I started to realize the potential of this Bitcoin and the potential of the crypto market at that time. Then I was rewarded heavily. In December 2017. I won't share amounts. I'll give you one coin. Okay. For those of you who are new and who don't know me, I'll give you one coin, or maybe 2 coins. I'll give you 2 coins that gave me huge returns. Sometime in April of 2016, I bought Ethereum with 35,000 rands. Okay. I bought Ethereum. It was a couple of Ethereums. 35,000 rands bought me a couple of Ethereums. And in December, that was 2016. In December of 2017, they were worth 1.2 million rands. 1.2 million rands. That's how much they were worth. Okay. So someone is laughing, say they were introduced to Bitcoin through Ziweng. I remember Ziweng very much. It was a days of learning, guys. We did not know better. Okay. 35,000 rands worth of Ethereum in April 2016. 1.2 million, same amount of Ethereums that I bought, 1.2 million in December 2017. All right, to the top of the boom of the bull market, because it was sometime in January. Some coins, they went over to January. Okay, I bought Verge for 10,000 rands sometime in April of 2016. Verge, XVG, the ticker symbol is XVG. I bought 10,000 rand worth of Verge. And somewhere even before the end of the Bitcoin market, it was 800,000 rands, So I used to post these things in the beginning because I needed to do validation. I don't do it anymore, right? Because I know who I am. I know where I am. I'm just focusing on educating people. I no longer post profits and money. I've done that quite a lot. If you want to see that, go back to my timeline on Facebook, and you will see all of those things. I used to post that quite a lot, right? I bought later on in other years, following years, I bought good quality coins that gave me 7 figures, right? That's not the purpose of my video here today. Purpose of my video is to give you education, sound advice, and education that you can also try to predict the market and see where the market is going. 2017 was a boom. 2017, a lot of millionaires were made, myself included. 2017, there was a lot of things happening, and we were all excited and happy, all right? But I still did not know some things in crypto, because remember, I was only 2 years into the game. Not even 2 years. Well, yeah, 2015, 16, 17, November 2015, and then 16, 17. So I was about 2 years into the market. So I was still learning about the market. The biggest mistake that I made is when I withdrew my funds. I converted all my funds into ZAR, okay, into South African rands. And at that time, Luno and Altcoin Trader, they were charging us hefty fees, right? 2%, it doesn't seem like a lot when you are withdrawing 500 rands. But when you are starting to withdraw 500,000, 800,000, 900,000, that 2% is a killer, man. It's a killer. But I did not know of stable coins, right? In 2017, 2018, I didn't know of stable coins. I could have converted my coins into stable coins and took some measures into security. But yes, I was still learning. I was only 2 years into the game. Okay. So came the next bear market. So from shy of $20,000, I remember in rands, it was 350,000 rands. At the top of the market, it was 350,000 rands. It was during this time also in 2017. Can't remember the year. I think it was 2017. I had a seminar in Gold Reef City. I had a seminar in Gold Reef City, and Bitcoin was around $19,000, $20,000 in that seminar. And people were crying that it is too high. And this is how I used to open my seminars. How many of you do you think Bitcoin is too expensive? At that time, it was about $19,000, $20,000, and everybody in the room lifted up, or half of the room lifted up their hands and said, at 20,000 rands a coin, Bitcoin is too expensive. At the end of the bull market, it was 350,000 rands. 350,000 rands. And that shows you the potential of cryptocurrency. Hey, fast forward to today, 1 million, who knew, right? But let me not get ahead of myself, okay? The following bear market, let's calculate from about shy of 20,000 or so to the lowest point. It dropped about 83%, down to about 32, down to about 32, 31, 30, what is this? 3,000, sorry, down to about $3,100. Okay. From shy of $20,000 to $3,000. Again, if somebody does not know about cryptocurrency, their stomach will not handle the huge drop. Okay. But look at the drop. It's now 84%. It's no longer 85%, even though it's quite similar. But that was telling you that, hey, I'm beginning to be stable around here. Okay. I'm beginning to be stable around here. Now, we are on the previous cycle, the cycle that we came from. Okay. This lasted for the whole year. Okay. From January 2018 all the way down to Feb. It started actually moving somewhere here, all the way down to December. Remember, if you're on a daily chart, from January 2018 all the way down to December 2018. So a full year, cryptocurrency was just going down. And now and then there was, don't get me wrong, now and then there was moments where Bitcoin went up and people thought, hey, the bear market is over. Then it went down again. Oh man, then it went up. The bear market is over. Then it went down again. Okay. Until it dropped about 85% or 84%. Look at the similarities, okay? Bear market, out of the bear market, we always extend with a expansion, our first expansion phase, okay? So from the low of 3,100 or so, the next expansion phase took us to $13,950. Okay, that's good. Okay, wait, let me calculate the returns of the previous bull market. Okay, the returns of the previous bull market. Let me calculate those. Those were now what? $2,578. Diminishing returns, not dollars, percent. 2,576. We are now at 4 figures. We are no longer at 5 figures. We are now at 4 figures. 2,578%. We are now at 4 figures. So every time we have a bull market with Bitcoin, we have diminishing returns. Okay. That's why when expectations are too high, you always get disappointed. Okay. After our first, I'm going to explain something very critical here. Okay. Some of you might agree with me. Some of you might not agree with me. But there's a huge community that agrees with me. And I'll show you that community in a short while. Okay. So then we had our first expansion phase that took us all the way to 13,000 or so. Then we had our first accumulation phase that moves within a certain range, but it does not break above the extension, the first expansion phase. Okay. Then catastrophe hit, right? Then we had COVID, right? Now, it is my argument that we did not have the second expansion phase like we had in previous years, the second expansion phase, because of COVID, right? Instead of us having another chart, okay? Instead of having another turquoise box, that was going to take us somewhere up here. I don't know exactly where, but somewhere up here, because the second expansion phase is not so high. Instead of that, we had Bitcoin, we had COVID that took us even further down. Okay. It is my argument, therefore, that it is why that the following bull market, we did not reach those heights that the chart was showing us, or those heights that we thought we were going to get, because we did not have the second extension phase. Had we had the second extension phase, we were also going to have our second accumulation phase a little bit higher. Okay, a little bit higher. No, somewhere here, right? Then we would have had our bull market much, much, much higher. Okay. It would have started around somewhere here, and it would have taken us to those heights that we wanted, which was about $100,000, $100,000 to $120,000. Okay. Had we not had the COVID, right? That's my argument. That's my theory. And it's based on what I've analyzed on the chart at the moment. Hence, I think that if we have a catastrophic global event, then the market changes quite a bit. Okay. So that's my theory right there. Okay. So we had COVID, which is the yellow box. Then we had our second accumulation phase. Then bull market happened, and our bull market, when we just entered our bull market, to the top of the bull market, it was now 3 figures, 500% gains, 3 figures. Okay, it went way below, way below 500%. And to the top of my head, I know that it went about $60,000, shy of $70,000. Okay, just shy of $70,000. That's when the Bitcoin market topped, and it started giving us now the bear market. Ladies and gentlemen, in 2021, we had our Bitcoin market. Then the whole of 2022 was our bear market. Similarities right here. 2017, we had our bull market. The whole of 2018 was our bear market, right? 2021, bull market. The whole of 2022, bear market, until sometime in October. All right. It started early this time around. It started in November. That's why I say the last quarter of the year, every 4 years, the bull market, you can predict that it might top it. Remember, guys, it's a prediction, pure speculation. These are not facts. These are predictions. Okay. Based on historical data. Based on historical data. Right. Now, bear market fell. A lot of people were expecting, remember, a lot of people were expecting 85%. And a lot of people were saying that I'm going to wait for 85% and then I'm going to come back into the market. But we didn't get to 85%. Right. There's something I forgot to mention at the beginning. Right. If you look at my chart, I have a curvature lines here. The one is running from the bottom, which acts as our support. Okay. Another one runs from the top, which acts as our resistance. Okay. And you can see that for years, crypto respected the curvature lines. Okay. It respected the curvature lines. So it will top at the top of the bull market, right? Let me draw it. At the top of the bull market, it will touch or just come short of the curvature line that is on top, right? At the top of the bull market, it will just touch. It is only in the last bull market that we did not get to this line. We didn't get to the line. And had we gotten to that line, it would have reached that expectation of about $100,000 per Bitcoin. And I'm still saying that it is due to COVID that I think it happened. Okay. Let me just cancel out these circles that I just made. And same thing happened at the bottom. At the bottom, the market never went below this line. Okay, it will come to the line and touch it, and it will not go below the line until COVID happened, right? It is when COVID happened that the structure was messed up, right? The structure was messed up, so much so that it still affected the following cycle, because we can see that even during the bear market, the price dropped below our line. It is only now that recently that we have really cleared that line, and Bitcoin, it seems like it's playing catch up, right? Because it was interrupted by the global catastrophic event of COVID, it is now playing catch up. Okay, so the previous bear market, which was in 2022, the price dropped just shy, the top was just shy of $70,000, and it dropped 77%, right? A lot of people, I had a discussion with a few people, and they were telling me that the price of Bitcoin is going to go down to $10,000. I said, no way, right? I said, no way. So we're going to go down to 10,000%, not percent, $10,000. It's not going to go down, right? So diminishing returns, diminishing losses, if I can put it that way. Okay. Then we had, out of the bear market, we had our first expansion phase that took us from $15,000, to about $24,000. Okay. To about $24,000. Then the structure was back in place. Then entered our first accumulation phase. Then entered our second expansion phase, right? So second expansion phase took us from $31,000 to about $51,000. Okay. Then, in my opinion, we are in our second accumulation phase. Notice where the halving period is. Okay. Notice where the halving period is. Remember, I said that we go into our second accumulation phase just before the halving or on the halving period. Okay. It is my view, but there's something different that is happening now in this second accumulation phase that hasn't happened in the previous accumulation phases. In the previous accumulation phases, the second accumulation phase never went higher than the second expansion phase. Okay. Second accumulation phase never went higher than the second expansion phase. But now we can see that the price, hence I'm saying that the price of Bitcoin is playing catch up. It's either we are still in the, I need to adjust the chart. It's either we are still in the expansion phase, it is just much higher than it was before, because Bitcoin is playing catch up because of what happened in COVID. Then on or just before the halving, we're going to be entering our accumulation phase. And accumulation phase takes months, right? So it means that even right now, Bitcoin is way too extended. I believe that it's still going to correct, and probably it will come back inside that purple box. It will probably go back inside the purple box, and then at some point, around 40Ks or so, it will start going sideways until 5 to 8 months, right? From 5 to 8 months. So if I'm counting from April, May, June, July, August, September, it's 5 months, right? Somewhere there, October, November, December, that's when we can expect at the end of this year that we're going to be starting to going into the bull market. Okay, now how high will the bull market go? It's a question you might ask. If it goes according to our chart at the top, we might be looking at a fair price of about, I don't want to overshoot, we might be looking at the price of about $150,000 to $170,000 per Bitcoin. Okay, per Bitcoin, depending on where the price of bull market will start going up, and we might even see lesser diminishing returns of about 300% or 200% at the strong bull market. Okay, or if the price of Bitcoin needs to catch up from what happened last time, we might see those increasing returns that they might be coming along. Remember, I said that this chart is of my opinion of where the market might be going, right? So it is therefore my opinion that the price of Bitcoin will not drop down to $20,000 or $10,000 or $12,000. I don't see that happening, because unless something catastrophic happens, I don't see that happening, because we've got a pattern here that has been happening over the years. We've got a pattern here that has been happening over the years. So why in the world? I understand BlackRock. I understand Bitcoin ETFs. I understand all of those things, but there's certain things that are embedded. I want you to hear me carefully. There are certain things that are embedded directly into the code of Bitcoin. By code, I mean the source code. Directly into the source code of Bitcoin. We are now about to go to an event that is embedded. It is inside the code, source code of Bitcoin. And that event is called the halving. It is going to be there every 4 years, whether you like it or you don't like it. Bitcoin halving will happen every 4 years. Guaranteed, we know this, right? We know that there will only be 21 million Bitcoins that will be mined. Guaranteed, it's a fact, right? These are the things that we know, okay? And we know that every 4 years, Bitcoin is going to go through the halving. We know that every 4 years, the Bitcoin, the mining difficulty is going to increase as the Bitcoins that are released into the blockchain are diminishing. The mining difficulty is going to increase. It is guaranteed. It's embedded into the source code. We know this, that when that happens, we're going to be having scarcity of the Bitcoins that are released into the market. And we know that with scarcity, demand is going to grow. And we know that when demand grows, the price of Bitcoin is going to go up. So in order for the price of Bitcoin to decline below, where's that thing? In order for the price of Bitcoin to decline, below and go all the way down to 10,000 or even 12,000 area right here, or back to even $15,000, I don't see why. It would have broken the structure completely. It would have broken the structure completely. Not only broken the structure completely, but something would have gone wrong within the code that we already have and the code that we already know. Am I saying that I'm completely 100% correct? No. I'm not completely 100% correct. And that's why I never say in any of my teachings, Bitcoin is going to go to this price. I never say that. Or Bitcoin is going to go up to this certain price. Because I don't know. I'm not the master of the charts. Certain things can happen. A lot of things, world events can take place. We can have a nuclear bomb that affects the entire world, and we can forget about cryptocurrency and the internet, right? But it's unlikely that certain things like those are going to happen. No one saw COVID coming. It was an unlikely event, but it did happen. But even then, Bitcoin did not drop all the way down there, back to $1,000. Never did. It didn't break the structure that much. Yes, it struggled. Okay. Yes, it went down. Let's zoom it. Okay. Yes, it went below the chart, but look how quickly it recovered. Okay. These candles are weak, like I said. Okay. First week, it tried to go back up, but it didn't succeed. Okay. Second week, it tried to go back up, did not succeed. Only in the third week, after it dropped, only in the third week that it went above the line and stayed above the line, or closed above the line. And then from there on, it started to follow the line. So for the structure to be broken to this extent, it will be something that, to me, would not make sense. I hope that you guys understand what I'm trying to say. It wouldn't make sense to me, okay? And I'm not saying that's guaranteed, that's for sure, okay? I'm not a master of the markets. I analyze data, and data allows me to see where the price might be or how the events might pan out to be, okay? I'm not saying that I am mastering all of this. So that's where we are, guys. I don't see us going all the way down to $20,000. I don't see us going all the way down to $15,000. It would have broken completely the structure of cryptocurrency or the structure of Bitcoin that is embedded in the code, because there's some certain factors that have aligned to you that I know. Earlier on, my closing comments, earlier on, I said to you that there's a lot of people that agree with my analysis. Now I'm going to take you back to TradingView. Remember that this article, I published it in TradingView. It was my first publication that I ever did on TradingView. So this was published, okay? Then I read out all the, I'm not going to read out this thing. I can give you guys a link on the comment, and you can go back and read out everything. Everything that I just said in 1 hour, it is repeated here. I mentioned everything that I just said now in the past 1 hour. You can go back and read it again, okay? So when I posted this on the 29th of January 2024, it had about 2 comments or so, and people were just liking it, and then it had about 8 likes and 9 likes. And then out of the blue, I got an email from TradingView that my article has been chosen as the editor's pick. So the editors chose to take this article and post it amongst the community of TradingView, right? Then all of a sudden, 66 comments and 2,181 likes. Okay, because now it was exposed. So it means that the editors of TradingView, they read this and they analyzed this chart and they found it to be useful as a long-term chart, and they picked it as their editor's pick. And out of that, then it got all this exposure. 2,181 people liked it. 66 people commented on it. Majority of those people were in agreement, to a point that I didn't even know that TradingView had its own token, to a point that people were giving me tokens, 200 there, 300 there, TradingView tokens, 400 there. I had my email, and my email was flooded with notifications that people were giving me tokens or appreciating this post that I did. All right. So what am I saying to you? This is world-class and top-class knowledge that I'm sharing with you. And some of you who've been in crypto, you might have known. Some of you might not even agree with me, and it's okay, right? But data speaks for itself. And that's why I like the data. So I hope you guys enjoying, or you have enjoyed our live stream. I'm going to open up just a short time for questions. If anybody has a question regarding this chart, I'm not going to be dealing with what do you think about this token? Can I buy this token? Because I have a crypto course, okay? I have a crypto course, and I am obligated to share some secret with my students. And the course is Royal Crypto. If you want to know more about it, send me an inbox after this, and then we can talk about it on an inbox, okay? So is there anybody? Just type there in the comment box if there's anybody that would like to ask any particular question. And thank you guys, thank you for taking time to go through this live stream. I know it's been an hour, and but thank you so much. Okay. Will it break the structure if it goes to 25,000? I think so. I think so. If Bitcoin goes to 25,000, it would have broken the structure. Way broken the structure. Then in that case, I don't know what's going on. I'll just be also watching and trying to learn what's going on. Somebody just asked that, or recently asked that on the comments there. Okay. Let me see. I used to be able to put the comments on the screen. I don't know what happened. I haven't streamed in such a long time that now I don't even know how to put those comments on the screen so that you guys can also read them. But it's okay. Somebody says, I hear you loud and clear. Okay, let me just see if there's any comments. Good arguments. Good argument. Thank you, Spoo. I hear you. What platform is best to buy than Luno? You can try Binance. You can try KuCoin. You can try, there's quite a lot. Crypto.com, there's quite a lot. Pito, hola brother, how's it, my man? So I'm thankful to the Z-Wang scam 2016. It was school fees because it taught us quite a lot of things, guys. All right. So hello, are we good to buy towards the end of the year? Look, you can buy whenever you want to buy. It depends on what kind of strategist are you, right? I bought beginning of, what year are we? I bought beginning of 2023. Beginning of 2023, and I've been buying, all right? I've been buying every time we have a dip or a decline, I add to my portfolio. Every time we have a dip or decline, I add to my portfolio. It depends. Are you a long-term investor? Are you a short-term investor? So if you're a long-term investor like myself, I hold my coins for 2 to 3 years without any issues. And I keep on buying and I keep on buying. All I'm saying that if everything pans out to be the way I'm predicting it to be, you've got until the end of this year to really maximize your returns. I'm not saying that next year you're not going to see returns. I'm just saying that they may not be as much as you would like. So you've got up until the end of this year to maximize those returns. All right. All right. Thank you so much, King. Valuable lesson. Thank you. Please don't forget to drop the link of your TradingView post. I won't forget. As soon as we are done here, I'll drop it. I'll do a different post also and drop it there. Well, thank you, my brother, for this info. You're welcome, guys. All right. So that's where we at, guys. I'm going to end the stream right here. Any coin you can recommend during this bull market, I cannot share that information. I do that with my private students. So I'm just going to end it over here, guys. I hope that you didn't have an issue with throwing millions in SA banks. I did have an issue with throwing big amounts. FNB to this day have closed all my accounts. At that moment, they closed my business accounts and they closed my personal accounts for no reason at all, no explanation at all. So I had to be smart. You know, right now I don't have a lot of money in my bank account. You know, it's either when the time is right, it's converted to stable coins, or it is in actual projects that I'm using, and I don't think I'll ever move a big amount of money into SA banks unless I've got a need to do. All right, I have a need to do, because back in 2018, 2019, I was building, so I had a need to do so, but I won't be doing that again. Okay. Are you able to trace on blockchain to see what's the smart money whales and the retail buyers? Yeah, you can do that on different projects. Okay. You can do that on different projects. You just need to know which link that you can trace all of those things. Okay. All right, my man. I'll drop the link. Thank you so much. This is very informative. You're welcome, Advocate. And then, what narrative do you think will be bullish this bull run? Well, you have to watch again what I just explained right now. Okay. All right, guys. Much love, much blessings. Let me release you to your families and your work and whatever it is that you are doing. The stream will stay on my Facebook post. Watch it over and over again. Share it as many times as you would like to be, so that more people can gain this knowledge. Like I said, it's valuable knowledge that I'm sharing for free with you today. If you want to know more about my course, come talk to me on an inbox. Look us up on the website. Just type Royal Crypto. You will find my website. Let me just, before I go, just type it out for you quickly. It's royalcrypto.net. Royalcrypto.net. It's newly designed website. So with all the information that I have when it comes to my course. So this is my new website. Join the family of Royal Crypto, guys, and let us win together in the following Bitcoin season, the bull run season. I've got 319 students, I've got 153 paid students, and I've got over 25 hours worth of material in video that you can watch at your own time. I've got a WhatsApp group that I put all my students, that we share information with everybody there. So go through, visit my website, and thank you guys very much for going through my live stream. Peace.